Reporter analyzes the pressures of the NATO conference. Life imprisonment demanded in Lahti murder case. An accident blocks the only bridge into Lieksa. Finnish berry business faces worker shortage from Thailand. The 75th anniversary NATO summit in Washington faces significant pressures, according to NATO specialist reporter Maria Stenroos. Leaders will discuss security situations, but attention is also focused on leaders facing challenges. U.S. President Joe Biden is struggling in the election race. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban recently had a controversial meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. French President Emmanuel Macron is trying to lead his country after losing elections to far-right and left-wing parties. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, having won a landslide victory for the Labour Party, must meet voters' expectations. These leaders will meet with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who seeks NATO membership for Ukraine but may be disappointed. Before the summit, Russia fired a missile at a children's hospital in Kyiv, reminding the world of the war's brutality. Although NATO is militarily stronger, cost allocation and participation in supporting Ukraine remain contentious. Many countries want NATO to show unity and strength to send a clear message to Russia that the alliance will continue to support Ukraine and deter any aggression. Two men are accused of forcing a victim to jump from a birdwatching tower, later dismembering the body found in a forest. At the Pijat District Court, they face charges of murder and desecration of a corpse. The prosecutor demands life imprisonment for the 30 and 35-year-old men from Lahti. The incident occurred on December 6, 2023, in Lahti. According to the charges, the crime was motivated by revenge, as the accused believed the victim caused the death of a close friend. Before the murder, the defendants forced the victim to jump from the tower with a rope tied to his leg. When the rope was cut, the victim clung to the tower structure to survive. One of the defendants shot the victim, then led the injured victim down from the tower, continuing to shoot until the victim died. The body was dismembered and hidden in the forest, discovered by police on January 30 in ET, near Lahti. The prosecutor also seeks imprisonment for a third person for hiding the crime, as they allow the body to be brought into their home and helped erase evidence. Police have released more information about the violence in Keimola, Vantaa. A woman is suspected of drugging her mother and brother before attacking them with a knife. On April 9, police received a call from a bystander reporting violence in an apartment in Keimola. Upon arrival, they found 3 severely injured adults. Police identified the 48-year-old woman as the perpetrator who attacked her mother and brother. Police reported that the victims were drugged before being attacked with a knife. In addition to being suspected of attempted murder, the woman faces 2 counts of severe financial fraud, involving tens of thousands of euros from the victims. The suspect and the injured parties are Pakistani citizens who have lived in Finland for a long time. Police have not determined the motive for the attack but noted that timely intervention by the bystander and police saved the victims. The woman has confessed and is currently in custody awaiting trial. A traffic accident on the only bridge into Lieksa on Wednesday caused major concern. The bridge has been a point of contention for replacement for many years. The closure for rescue operations disrupted traffic for 2 hours, causing residents to worry about the lack of an alternative route in emergencies. Residents had to wait over an hour to cross the bridge. They fear the situation would be worse if an emergency vehicle needed to pass. The old bridge is safe for ambulances but cannot support heavy vehicles. Mayor Pierre Seppänen emphasized that accidents causing bridge blockages are rare, but residents' concerns are valid. Legal procedures for replacing the bridge may conclude this fall, paving the way for a new bridge by 2026. The Finnish berry business is facing difficulties due to a shortage of Thai berry pickers. Companies have spent hundreds of thousands of euros on plane tickets for Thai pickers, but delays in permit issuance are causing stress. Petri Lehtiniemi, a businessman in the industry, is worried about not being able to bring in 350 pickers as planned. With only 2 weeks until the berry picking season, delays could result in many berries going unharvested, affecting supermarket supplies. Work and residence permits are still stuck at the Thai embassy in Helsinki. If not resolved quickly, businesses will suffer significant losses after investing heavily in plane tickets and related costs. The current situation threatens both the harvest yield and the survival of businesses in the industry. Lack of internship placements is making it difficult for healthcare and social sector students to complete their studies. According to a report from the Council of Vocational Institutions, 10% of nursing students cannot find internships. Students often have to find placements themselves, competing fiercely, much like concert ticket hunting. SAMIC chairman Lori Kajala stated that many students have to do unpaid internships due to bad habits in the industry, and many placements are in the public sector. SAMIC is advocating for paid internships to improve the quality of guidance. Internship placements are not only scarce but also often fully booked within seconds of opening. This forces many students to intern far from home, incurring additional costs. The government wants to increase the number of students but cannot due to the lack of internships. This affects education quality and students' ability to graduate. In summary, the lack of internships and unpaid internships are serious issues that need addressing to support students in completing their studies. Childcare in Finnish boarding schools is facing significant challenges regarding costs and efficiency. Children and adolescents with severe psychological conditions are placed in boarding schools. According to Maria Alonco-Lazarides, director of Vuorla boarding school, the cost of caring for a child for a year is €250,000. She believes the current system is too expensive and inefficient for children with the most difficult circumstances. A serious issue is managing children's mobile phone use. Phones hinder recovery and interaction with care staff, reducing time spent on these activities to just half an hour per day. Alonco-Lazarides also calls for the presence of professional security staff in boarding schools to ensure safety for both children and staff. Violent incidents occur quite frequently, requiring police intervention. Finally, she suggests extending the duration of special care periods. Currently, these periods last a maximum of 90 days, insufficient for children with severe psychological and behavioral issues. Experts believe this period needs to be longer to make a real difference in the children's lives. The Finnish government is considering changes in child protection laws, and many in the field hope these reforms will provide the necessary tools for better child care. Researchers have created a type of cell that cannot cause cancer, potentially developing new cell therapies for hundreds of diseases. According to the University of Helsinki, this method enables the creation of safer cell therapies. The method was developed by researchers from the University of Helsinki and Helsinki University Hospital. They successfully created cells that can control their division process. These new cell therapies can aid in treating many diseases, including heart attacks. Currently, cell transplantation therapies are used to treat various blood diseases and diabetes by converting donated or patient stem cells. However, genetically modified cells have a high risk of DNA changes that increase cancer risk. Transferring cells between individuals is also challenging due to tissue type differences. The research team's solution allows efficient cell growth and stopping when needed, minimizing cancer risks. These cells can be made so that the human immune system does not recognize them, reducing cancer risk and allowing the creation of universal cell products ready for use when needed. This result has been patented. New support criteria starting next year could endanger many Finnish cattle breeds. Support is only granted if the inbreeding rate is below 6.25%. This disqualifies many cattle from support, raising concerns about their fate. Jasper Suohala, a farmer, worries about the severe consequences as many cattle might be slaughtered. However, he decided not to slaughter his herd and emphasized that inbreeding is not a permanent genetic trait. Experts argue that healthy cattle should not be slaughtered solely because of inbreeding rates. They also highlight the need for effective tools to manage inbreeding and preserve valuable cattle breeds. The pea harvest for frozen peas has begun in southwest Finland. Appetit's pea harvesters started work on Monday in Mitoinen, Varsinainen Suomi. The peas are shelled in the field and quickly transported to Appetit's plant in Sakila for freezing. The short distance to the plant ensures the freezing process happens quickly, preserving the quality of the peas. This year, peas are grown on about 1,800 hectares, up from about 1,000 hectares over the past 10 years. Appetit stated that their frozen peas are also exported to many countries, including Italy. In addition to peas, southwest Finland produces many other vegetables and roots, focusing heavily on the food industry. Polka strawberries, a favorite in Finland, are at risk of extinction due to plant diseases. Polka has been professionally grown in Finland since the 1990s. However, changing cultivation conditions make polka susceptible to diseases like root rot and powdery mildew. Imported seedlings from Central Europe bring many plant diseases, threatening polka's survival. Experts suggest that seedlings grown in Finland will reduce the risk of disease. Nevertheless, Finland's harsh weather and short growing seasons limit the diversity of strawberry varieties. Researchers are developing new varieties such as Maiju and Markita to replace polka. Antti Vuorla, a strawberry farmer in Lappeenranta, mentioned that if polka strawberries are no longer viable, they will have to switch to other varieties. Consumer preferences will determine the next popular strawberry variety. The tattoo industry has changed significantly, largely due to the contributions of young women. Annie Pilvinen, a tattoo artist at Studio Vanilla in Tampere, noted that more and more women are entering the profession, broadening the perception of who can be a tattoo artist. According to Pilvinen, the stereotype that tattoos are only for bad people or criminals no longer holds. Nowadays, the majority of tattoo artists are women. Laura Koski, president of the Finnish Tattoo Artists Association, estimates that over 50% of tattoo artists are female. This increase has enriched tattoo styles and designs, making various customer groups feel more comfortable visiting tattoo parlors. Annie Pilvinen observes that women tend to create delicate and subtle tattoos, meeting the needs of many clients who want an artistic mark while maintaining elegance. Pilvinen shares, tattoos are no longer seen as something bad, and women can get tattoos while still keeping a classy style.